Hello, sexy souls, and welcome back to the Raven Tarot. So, today's topic, today's pick a card, we're going to be talking about conflict. I would just like to start off by saying that communication is creation. If we don't communicate with people, we can't create happiness, we can't create abundance, we can't get moving, we can't progress in our life. And that's very clear. But what isn't clear is how some people like to have arguments with people. They're not being very clear about what point they're trying to make. So that's all what we're going to be talking about today, is why you're getting angry and why you're not having a healthy kind of outcome from whatever conflict you have in your life with friends, family, or relationships. A lot of the time, when we're having an argument with someone, you'll notice that you get angrier when you realize that they're like, they're either being like really obnoxious or they're just not listening to you, and they'll never be able to listen to you when they're acting like that because they've got like a wall up and they're just like, my ego's here, you cannot. No. So it's like not listening is something that people don't like, and as well people just get very personal and they start attacking. This could be you might do this, and this could be other people do this to you all the time, and you might just back away. So it's just people have different ways of having conflict, and you just got to know how you want to have conflict with others. And if they're not worth it and they don't go with what you resonate with, just let it go, and try and figure out why they were acting that way when you know you don't want people like that in your life. Why are they in your life then? That's what you need to start kind of figuring out. As well, like different signs. Like I am an earth sign, so I'm very, very stubborn. And water signs are very emotional, so when they get into conflict, they get really emotional and maybe they start crying, and then the other person feels guilty and whatever. And fire signs and air signs are like, ugh, like I'm gonna, we need to stop. You need to cut out this bull shit. So just remember, everyone's different. We all have different ways of having conflict. You just need to know about how you want to figure out your way of communicating with people. Also, everyone has different trauma that they need to heal as well, and that's something that I'll be looking into with your own circumstances. Fear as well is a huge one. Why are you afraid of having conflict? A lot of the times we think that we've had a really good childhood and we didn't really have any problems, and your mom and dad, they were always loving life, had a happy, marriage, whatever. That's fine, but there's trauma somewhere always there. Like my mom and dad never argued in front of me, but I had a really hard time of being told what to do. So I would go out and I would just break things, and then I would get in even more trouble. I would go in a whole rage, and I was my anger just sometimes was too hard to deal with. And then when I got older, I had to deal with my sexuality, and that was like, then I was suppressing everything, all of my emotions, and I became numb, and then it just came back up again, and I went crazy one time. And then now I've come to this point where I really understand what my problem is. It's like, I don't know how to communicate when I'm having an argument. I don't know how to get my point across. And that's something that I'm still working on. See, I'm being vulnerable here. This is what you need to do. You need to be vulnerable. You need to take that risk and say, okay, listen, I'm not very good at this, but you just got to hear me out, okay? Ask questions at the end and just let me get my point across. Just trying to say that you are not good at conflict is a good step as well. It makes the other person feel less threatened. They're like, oh, well, they're just admitted that they don't know what they're really trying to argue about. But at least if you do that, it won't get heightened. Hello. Also, like I said about being afraid, not being afraid to have an argument, or it's not argument, like not afraid to confront someone. That's a major thing, because if you can't confront especially someone in your relationship, if you can't confront them, again, talking from experience, if you can't confront them, if they just completely blank you, or they try and turn it around and gaslight you or something like that, then you're going to feel guilty, and then that's why you're going to suppress it even more and more and more until you don't even know what the hell to say to anybody anymore. Oh, I'm sweating. Why am I sweating? Sorry. Whatever. It is kind of hot in here because I put the heating on. As well, I'm going to kind of looking into why you have these arguments with people. So people that are in front of you, why are they there? They're your mirror, they're your reflection. So when you're having these arguments, look at them and notice what triggers you. Why are you getting even angrier? And it's just a healthy bit of conflict, you know? Why are you getting angry? Notice what your triggers are and when it gets out of hand, because that's what you need to then realize that you need to heal that. And as well, I have a lot of things on my skin because I'm currently working on this part of myself, trying to, ground myself. So a lot of stuff's coming out of my face and I'm getting rashes on myself, but that's all part of my healing. Yeah, so I'm going to be talking about that. Why these people are in your life. Why are they there? Just one thing I'd like to say, it's really hard. It's hard to be humble in a world where everyone thinks that their opinion is the only opinion. And what I say to people in your life that are like that, a lot of those people you just kind of need to cut from your life because they're not going to change right now. Maybe they'll change in the future, but right now they're not your person to heal or fix. It's not about anyone else. This is about you. So yes, I am going to be doing a different kind of reading today. I'm going to be using a deck, but more so using my own intuition. So if you see jump cuts as well, that's because I'm kind of, when I'm channeling, I like to pause and kind of get the message, the clearest message, because when you're using your intuition as only your intuition, sometimes it's this is just good for people who always wonder, to get that out there. It's when you're trying to listen into your intuition, sometimes you get so many messages that you kind of need to focus on one and then ask another kind of question and kind of narrow it down. So that's why if you see jump cuts, it's because I am trying to not make this video waiting for me to say something. But yeah, without further ado, close your eyes and choose a number between 1 and 3 and we will soon get to the bottom of your issues. So yeah, see you in the timestamps. Okay, so hello anyone that has chosen pile number 1. Let us see why you... Let's just talk. Oh. I didn't know what I was trying to say there. Okay. I am getting a feeling that this pile, you guys, are a very much controversial... you like conflict. I do feel. I got red there. It's whoa, it kind of. Your conflict kind of excites you, so this is good. So you're kind of the opposite here from. I felt like the rest of the people in your life don't really step on your toes because you're very easily triggered. So let's see why that is. I've pulled just a few cards here. 5 cards will do with, and that'll do. Okay. So I have the Emperor here. So for me, I really feel like you are very much a leader. So you understand that you need to have conflict in your life. You understand everything that I just said before. It looks more so that it's something that you need to learn is to tone it down a bit and not think that you have to do it all the time. You have to have conflict all the time because, like I said, conflict isn't good or bad. So yes, it's fine to have conflict in your workplace, but maybe for people that are close to you, your loved ones, are you a little bit too judgmental? Are you a little bit too much quick to jump in and say, listen, I don't think that this is the right choice for you. Why don't you do? It's sometimes I feel like people feel like a lot of the time you're very good and you know what you're talking about, but sometimes they are not always ready to hear what you have to say because you are very much business orientated and you're very much adventurous and you want to you just want to. You're the person that likes taking risks. You're the person that likes change, and you're not afraid to get what you want. So with you, I feel like conflict is something that makes you happy, which is great. And I think that you don't get personal with people, and you don't take it personally, which is another really good thing. So I really do feel like with you are very good at communicating, and you're definitely that fire energy, and you're very quick with conflict. You're very quick. I would say that you're more of the logical type of person. So you're not very. You don't find like sarcasm funny. You're more so like, what's the hidden message you're trying to say there? You're trying to tell me that I'm not good at what I do because I can tell you a lot of things about yourself. That's kind of the attitude I get from you. It's very like, don't cross the line with me. And then you get your point across, and you can sit back and you can relax. But everyone else is like, whoa, you just took that person to the ground. I feel like, in all honesty, when you do argue with people, they respect you. Well, at least I feel like, why is this doing this? Stop doing it. Because I feel like I have the sun card here as well. I feel like people respect you, and they look up to you. So really, I don't feel like with you, how you have conflict with people, the way you communicate there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like you are someone who's pretty much nailed that on the head. And I feel like that has come from how your father was, maybe. Your father was someone who's probably very strict and always kind of tried to take you to the next level in your life, like very quick, and like always like trying to improve on himself, and then you've kind of picked that up as well, maybe. Also had the Queen of Wands here, so I really do feel like why you have conflict in your life is because of what you're passionate about. So you're a very passionate person, so you like to get things done. Also, I feel like what the challenge here is learning how to listen, okay? Because you're very, very passionate, and why is it in your life? It's not the King of Wands, it's the Queen of Wands. So it's, what I would say is this Queen of Wands energy is kind of telling me that you have a lot of conflict in your life, but really it's time for you to kind of take it a step down and start to listen. Because I really feel like if you just started to listen, or even ask the question like, does that make sense? And do you understand this? And is there anything that you would like to contribute to this or whatever? That's going to help you way more than you even could think on. Like, it's going to get you to the next level a lot quicker. And you kind of might think, wow, okay, I'll have a go with this. Because I really feel like now you're a bit bored anyway, because you're like, it's kind of like everyone around, I feel like people aren't stimulating you anymore. Like, you're kind of like, you're so good at controlling, not in a bad way, but you're so good at controlling the situation that right now you're kind of thinking like, oh, I can't even be bothered dealing with you because I know it's just going to be a waste of my time. But really, this conflict with the technology, Mercury retrogrades, it doesn't normally do this. Maybe I should just do that. A bit better? I don't know. Maybe it's the lighting in here. Oh God, me and this technology are gonna fight. Okay, stop. Maybe I should just hold the cards here to my face, and then it would stop doing it. Hello, anger. I'm not actually angry. I'm just joking. Okay. There we go. Okay. Maybe I'll just not hold cards up for right now. Yeah. So what the biggest message I'm getting is sometimes you need to understand the other person's perspective. So you might not always agree with what they're trying to say, but then just pause for a second. It's all about pausing for you, because I feel like you're too quick to jump on because you already know what you want to say next. So maybe just wait and see what they're trying to say. I do feel like you are good at that, but asking a different question to what you would normally ask. So something like, and why do you feel like that? Then they're going to open up more, and then they're going to feel like you're a little bit more warm towards them, and you're not so like, whoa. Because I really feel like the biggest thing that triggers you is that just there's a lot of there's a very thin line with you, and you feel like if there's a crack in the ice at all, you just don't want that to sink. You don't want things to sink, and you don't want you to go all emotional on people. So you are quick to keep walking on that thin ice. I feel like a lot of people try and cross you, and you're just straight away you clash with them, and you hold it together. So I think it's a lot to do with fighting yourself. A lot of what your biggest thing I feel like you need to heal is something more so to do with how you're always wanting to be the best. Kind of a perfectionist. Not all of you, but some of you are kind of perfectionists, and it's like you don't even want someone to crack the ice, because when the ice is cracked, then you get emotional about it, and then you get angry. So that's something that doesn't normally come up for you. So what I'm feeling is like you're clashing with yourself more so. Your inner self is like this. It's very, very like feeling like you're okay. Like you know exactly how to keep it here. But what I'm feeling is like you need to release a little bit of that, and being more empathetic to people that you don't really care about is a big step to realizing something within yourself. Because I really think that the types of people that annoy you are people that are doing better than you. So it's not like you're jealous of people. It's just like, okay, well, they're already doing that. Why am I not doing that? And then you kind of, you'll start to get like kind of harsh on people around you. And you'll be like, if someone walks in and you're trying to do something, and you'll be like, excuse me, I'm trying to work here. Can you just come back another time? Kind of like that. It's like, then it becomes kind of negative, and people are like, oh, don't want to step on the thin ice and crack things. Crack things. What am I talking about? So yeah, it's just like, for me, fighting back all the time is maybe the ice just needs to stay frozen for a second, and just like I feel like you're worried that why do I keep talking about ice? It's like you're afraid that the ice will crack, but do you even know how stable you are? You're so stable, like you know who you are when it comes to conflict. So why can't you just take that risk and open up and listen to people? That's the biggest thing I'm getting here. Listening more to people. I'm going to hold it here because I don't want to go out of focus. I have the Hermit. So you really just don't like people that really, really grind your gears, are people that are moaning and like, oh, but I can't do this and I'm not good enough. And you're like, and then that's kind of like a trigger for you. What I would say about that is leave those people to figure it out for themselves. You're not there to, unless you're their boss or something, or a really good friend, then advise them. But just, again, opening up, using that heart chakra, just opening up. It's like you just need to change the way that you have conflict with people that are close to you. But I really do see you doing really, really well in your life because of how motivated you are. You're so motivated to you want all the abundance that you can have. You want an abundant life, and you will get it. I really feel that for a lot of you. I feel like whatever abundance means to you right now, and you're holding that thought, it's there. I feel like it's there. It's just something needs to change. You need to bring in some empathy into the heart chakra, and then things will just kind of like naturally come to you, and you'll be like, whoa, what the fuck? So yeah, I'm picking that up. With the Knight of Pentacles here, he's in like a wheelchair and he's holding the pentacle. This Knight of Pentacles, for me, when I always looked at it, it was like, he's kind of like the steam. I always look at the steam coming out, and he's in a wheelchair, and it's kind of like a lot of people in your life, they feel like they don't have anything to bring to the table. So a lot of them are scared to say things to you because of that kind of like, they're afraid that you're quick to judge them and shut them down. They feel like they're not as able to keep up with your quick, fiery kind of energy. Okay? So your partner as well. If you have a partner, they are feeling like they don't really understand how to communicate with you for some reason. It's like they're more like, for me, I'm not very good at arguing because I have Mercury in Taurus, whereas you're probably like Mercury in Aries, where you're very like quick and fiery and da da da. I'm not saying your Mercury is Aries, but like, do you know what I mean? So I feel like if you're in a relationship, who is your partner? Are they maybe finding out about, if you know that, where is their Mercury? What signs in Mercury? I'm trying to say. Because I feel like a lot of you don't realize that they like to argue in a completely different way, and this is something that you need to learn, is that you've never really had an issue with conflict, so now you need to know what everyone else's issue is with it, because a lot of the time people won't tell you how they feel about the way that you come across sometimes. I'm not saying that you're rude, it's just how much people respect you and are also kind of afraid of you because they don't want to cross the boundary with you. So, let's, I don't know, should I pull another card? I don't really, no, let's just use my intuition. Let's just, focus. I really feel like something that you need to heal as well. I'm getting the message from something to do with your mother. So, was your father or the more prominent one for some of you, and the mother was kind of not really there all the time, or wasn't always able to show as much love as she would have liked to? That's something I'm feeling like is kind of what needs to be healed. And as well, I feel like for a long time you felt like you were a disappointment, and you always thought to yourself that if I can't achieve this in my life, I'm useless. So you'll do whatever it takes. So trying to come to terms with that everything is going to happen regardless of the time frame that you have. I want you to kind of slow down. That's the message that I'm getting. They're really telling me, like, slow down with all of the clutter that's in your space or in your own head, because I feel like you're managing a lot of things either in your head or in your space, and maybe even like having a little bit of a spring clean either here or, speaking of that, I would need to do that myself. Yeah, some kind of like decluttering and minimizing the stress levels is what Spirit is telling me now. So yeah, that is all I have for you, group number 1. Please leave a comment down below if this made any sense, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next pick a card. So bye bye, I'll see you all in the future. Good luck, see you later, ciao ciao. Hello, group number 2. So let us start with seeing how you are when it comes to conflict. How do you deal with it? And let's start with that. First, I do get... Oh, that's funny. Card number 1 was we have the Hierophant reversed. Sorry, the focus might keep going out, but I don't know what's wrong with my phone at the minute. Okay, I'm getting a strong feeling that, first of all, I would like to say that this, what I will be talking about, I keep getting contracts. So I keep feeling that this was contracted. The way, whatever I'm going to talk about, I don't know yet. I'm getting a feeling that whatever I will talk about, it was like contracted to be like it's your life path. It's something major. It's a major thing that you have to learn and grow from. It's like one of the biggest things, and it's one of the most important things right now in your life is to face this. Okay, so I do have the Emperor reversed, and it's telling me that you definitely do not enjoy conflict, and you are someone who would jump out of a window and roll in the bushes below before you would deal with conflict. It's like, that's how you feel anyway. It's just like, if there's conflict, all you want to do is get outside and be away from it. So you're highly a highly intuitive person. And you're, for me, it feels like you're more so of like, you're really, really generous with people, and you just don't want things to be, you don't want to stir the pot. That's just not what you would normally do, and it's never been really like that for you. You take everything like it's your own fault, and that is something for me. I used to be like that, and let me tell you from right now, that does not work. Do not feel guilty for if you do hurt someone's feelings, and they try and say that, well, I don't respect that you said that to me, and did it and twist it. And I feel like I spoke about gaslighting, and I feel like this is if you don't know what gaslighting is, Google it. It's basically just a form of manipulation. I feel like a lot of you have had relationships in the past. This could also, your parents as well may have gotten a divorce. I'm picking that up for some of you. Or there's something strong here coming from either a past life or your parents from this life. Because I don't know, for something is telling me that your parents actually had a good marriage, and then some of you it's like no. So it's that for me, when I get that message, it's like it was in your past life, and it's something that you need to heal from your past life, or else it was in this life. And your parents, like, I feel like your mother was probably always kind of begging for him to be faithful, or for him to come back. There's some sort of like, please, or it could have even been the man in your life, your father. Yeah, so I really feel like you've had a lot of overpowering masculine energy, and something about this is telling me that you don't feel like you're quick enough to say the right thing. So you're afraid of communicating what it is what you want to say. And what I would say for that is, like, you need to, I'm going to keep saying this, you need to, before you even have an argument with someone, you need to say, okay, I know this is probably something that you don't want to hear, but I just need your attention, and I need you to listen to me, because I'm not very confident with voicing. I feel like crying. Sorry, I'm channeling. Like, you would probably start to cry even saying this. Like, it's so hard for me to even speak right now, and I'm feeling very jittery. So I don't know if that's the way that you have been in the past with people. It's just very like, so I really feel like you've got a lot of fear there. So what you need to ask yourself is, why is the fear there? Like, it's almost like you would have a panic attack sometimes. And if it's not with family or friends or something, it's with partners. I feel like it's a lot, it's triggering you from relationships. That's the thing that I'm getting the strongest here, is relationships. So yeah, I do feel like you have a lot of people, you've been in a lot of controlling relationships, and you will in the future, until you learn how to heal this part of yourself. Okay, that one fell on the floor. This is okay. Sorry, I need to get this back. Hello. Okay, I really don't like this card, and I'll tell you why. I really feel like you've got a lot of feminine energy. You're very you're intuitive, and you're probably very psychic. And you've just got a very caring mother, like, wants to take care of her children. You're just so humble, and you're such a nice person, okay? And you are a target for people who want to manipulate that. They want to use your generous, like, your aura. You're just so you're attracting people who want to manipulate you and want to, get what they want. Not to the extreme, but for some of you, I am feeling that. I'm feeling like you may have had some stalkers in the past and wondered why do I attract these people? It's because you now need to heal. There's either your masculine or your feminine is damaged, and you need to figure out which one is it. Because I do feel like a lot of you are psychic, but as well, maybe you're not. very comfortable with this masculine energy, and so you need to figure out which it is for you. I'll just leave that there. It's just focusing on that is a big thing, I feel. But you're going to continue to attract these people that want their pages are not mature about things, and they are not the kind. I'm getting manipulation a lot here, so they're not the type of person to communicate in a mature way. They're that like I get what I want kind of thing, and they do what they want. When you are having an argument and when it's time for you to actually speak up, just do not argue in a place where it scares you. So don't argue somewhere. Not argue. Don't have confrontation. Well, obviously don't do it in a restaurant and cause a whole scene. But what I'm trying to say is don't do it at home on your own, because I feel like a lot of you wouldn't be comfortable with that, because it kind of scares you, and that's kind of, I don't know. I'm getting like a proper huge fear from a lot of you. It mightn't feel like you're like, no, I'm not that afraid, but there's something deep here I'm feeling, and it's like you literally freeze when someone is having an argument with you. Like you tense up and you just kind of like freeze, and then you say and do things that you don't even know how it's coming out of you. You're just like, and it's like people are looking at you like, what is wrong with you? You're so out of balance. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting. Sorry if this isn't resonating. I feel like there's a lot of people that this isn't resonating with, and if that, just let it go. Click away. Maybe this is the wrong pile. I don't know. I got that message. But there's some of you that really need help with this. I'm getting a message as well. Getting some form of therapy. If you want, you can contact me as well. My email's down there. Some form of like therapy to go deeper within, because there's something deep here, and it's to do with parents, and like even did someone grab you like this as a child and like don't you dare or something, like it's like there's some sort of a shock that you've had, and I feel like it's been suppressed, and you might not think that it was ever a big deal, but it's as a child we don't really think, we're afraid in that moment, and then it scars us, but we get on with our life because we're children and we're like, oh, a butterfly, and we start playing. But that stays with us because as children we don't really know how to let go of that. We don't really know how to release that. But now as humans sorry, hello, as adults, we need to start working with ourselves, because all of the shit that happened in our childhood, we need to get it all out of us and be happy again and start acting. Sweaty armpits again, sorry. I'm getting passionate. Yeah. And for anyone that is in a relationship, if you're not having conflict because you're avoiding it, or even if you've tried, because I know in the past I've tried to have conflict with my partner and it just didn't really happen. So it's like, if that ever happens, someone's not being honest. If you're not being honest, it's probably both ways, to be honest, because that's usually how it works. Because if you are afraid to argue with them, you're not being honest with yourself. Because if you were honest, you would just upfront say what's not okay. And if they don't want to argue with you, they don't either care or they've got their own stuff going on, okay? So, just a message that I get is really, really analyze things. Because what triggers you for me is relationships. It's the biggest trigger. Okay, we have the Six of Swords. You have a lot of swords energy. So for me, the way that I'm feeling about this, swords is people trying to outsmart you. People trying to outsmart your emotional side, because they're taking advantage and they know how you can get upset. So they use that against you, a lot of people. And you need to get away from that toxicity. The flames over here are saying that there's a fire on this island, and it's about time that you have no other option but to leave something. You have to leave this part of you behind, and you have to move on to a new chapter. So what I mean is, again, going within and healing. So yeah, just one thing I would like to say now is, Spirit is telling me now is the time to be very, very alert. Notice everything that they are saying, people around you. Be very like, look at people and notice just notice how they start an argument. So before an argument might even start with someone, well, first of all, you need to analyze yourself. But if it happens that they're trying to start an argument, just be very like curious about why are they doing that? Is there another message behind this? Are they trying to make me feel like I'm the one that's in the wrong? Because you should never ever feel like you're the one in the wrong. That's not okay. People should not do that. I get like passionate about this. This is so wrong. People should never ever make you feel like you did something wrong. I let that happen to me, and I'll never let that happen again. Let me tell you. So, just notice asking questions as well, being a little bit more curious. And if they all of a sudden, like if you're asking a question, because the message I'm getting here is sneaky. You've either had sneaky relationships in the past, or you're still going to attract. Maybe, I'm not sure about right now. It does feel like right now. I'm not joking when I say that, because it's strong. So for just, if this isn't resonating with you, and you're not in a relationship right now, just notice even family members, maybe they're doing it. And obviously I'm not saying that your family is trying to manipulate you, because in a way everyone kind of manipulates everyone in some form, and there's just extremes. And this, for me, a lot of you are having people use you because you are so generous and you're so pure emotionally. It's just, people don't like someone who asks questions and gets to their wounds. So asking questions, noticing where they're kind of like, where it upsets them. This isn't like get at them kind of thing, because that's not okay. But if your intuition is telling you there's something more to it, ask questions. So for example, they are coming home late from work, and you ask, where were you? Why do you? And they're like, why are you asking that? You're always asking that. I'm just like, I was just wondering, where were you working late? Or just asking questions and noticing their reaction. Because that response, why are you asking? It's like, you don't ask me things like that. That's wrong. They shouldn't be doing that. And then that would lead to an argument, because they got very like defensive. So another thing is noticing how people react. Does that trigger you, their reaction? And then you get upset, and maybe you cry, or maybe you actually get angry, probably with yourself. I feel like a lot of you will go into a room and just like get so frustrated but not show it. Now is the time for you to show it, because the type of, I really feel like the type of thing that frustrates you is people who don't know how to chill out. Like, I feel like you don't know why people are the way they are. When you ask them a simple question and all of a sudden you get like a rude answer, or like, I know better than you. It feels like you had that a lot, where people were always like, what? Excuse me? And you were always like, oh, I didn't mean it. Like, you always, what really upsets you is how quick people are to fight back. And you freeze, and you're kind of like, oh, okay, sorry, jeez, calm down. And I have the King of Pentacles here. Well, the King of Pentacles for me is a really nice, generous person. So another thing that I'm picking up is, notice what annoys you first, and notice how you can like try and work on that. Because I feel like something that you need to work on is, sometimes people aren't always out to get you. And what I'm feeling and what I'm getting now from Spirit, there's only a certain few people. I'm not saying that everyone around you is mirroring you and using you, because that is not okay. I should have cleared that up. That's not okay. It's, for me, that would be like, oh my God, mental, I can't cope with this. No, you've got a lot of people that do love you. It's the people that are using you in certain ways. And you might not, a lot of the time, you won't even notice it. But what I'm saying is, realizing if maybe you're in a narcissistic, is that the word? Narcissistic relationship, or you're in a really controlling kind of relationship. Notice and look more into that, because then you're going to start treating people that are actually being nice to you, and they're not trying to have an argument with you. You're going to just backing away from everyone else that's trying to be generous to you. You're blocking people being nice to you because of some few that have messed with your head. Okay? And we do have the Magician here as well. Stirring. Someone is stirring. So, so you also have a little bit of like, I don't know, you have some kind of, if you're having weird dreams or you're having like weird experiences, you have some kind of other entity kind of around you as well that's kind of latched onto you, and I don't know why. You would need to look into that. The Star. Okay, that makes sense. I said otherworldly, and as I chose, it was the Star. So, because, yeah, actually, I do feel, I don't really feel like it's, for some of you, it might be someone that's passed away. But for me, I'm getting messages from, like, angels. And you have, like, 4. You have like 4. Just know that you're not alone, and they're really looking after you right now. You have a lot of support right now, and you might even feel a lot stronger for some reason, and you're like already feeling like it's something big's about to happen, or you're about to change your life in really in a really positive way. Yeah, these stars all around here. It's like you might feel like you're alone there, and you're just sitting dealing with your emotions on your own, but there's something up there in the stars and the universe kind of working together to help you realize it. So right now you might be starting to notice a lot of synchronicities in your life, and really, really doing the work and getting yourself grounded, getting yourself focused on what matters in this world, what matters to you in this world, and kind of go about it in a very easy, mundane kind of a way, not in a whole like, I don't know, I feel like there's no need to exaggerate it, okay? I pulled this for childhood, so I'm feeling like there is a lot of childhood suppressed fear. Someone this feeling for me is someone who's been put in a box their whole life, feeling like they've literally been closed off, and they could never express themselves. And it's just now you're so frustrated, and it might come up. You might come like it's starting to feel like you're itchy, or maybe you have skin irritations and stuff like that. It's like coming, for me, it's going to start to show if you don't deal with healing yourself, okay? But that is all I really have for you, group number 2. Please leave a comment down below, and also just drop me an email of how you're feeling and everything. I hope I have the right email in the description. I'll check that out. Editing me, remind me of that. But that's all I have for you. And I will see you all in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye. Hello, group number 3, and welcome. Okay. I thought I was trying to burp there, but I got a really weird feeling there. I got a feeling of warmth. So maybe I got a feeling like I have a nice feeling about this group. Sorry. Okay, let us see how you handle conflict. Sorry, that was a weird start to this. Okay. We have the 2 of Cups. So, this for me, no wonder I was feeling warm. You are a very empathetic person. I'll put them there for a second. You're a very empathetic person, from what I'm picking this. I'm getting a feeling like a lot of you could possibly be into psychology, or even just very caring and love to help people with their own inner conflict. I feel like that. So for me, I'm feeling really relaxed, and I'm like, I actually was very tense there, and then all of a sudden I felt something coming up. So it was like warmth coming from my heart. So it's definitely, I feel like you're someone who has that something about people. You are very good with eye contact, I feel like, as well, and shows in the way that people communicate with you. So you're very good at communicating and listening. So really, I don't feel like you have a lot of conflict. And I don't feel like you have any much arguments with people either. I feel like a lot of the people in your life are I really do feel like you're the healer. You're the person that could be doing something like this in the future, or even if you're not already. I feel like you've even healed. You've done a lot of inner work, so this is really good. I'm getting a really good message, and I keep feeling like don't quit, because you think like don't stop is what I'm hearing. Don't stop with your journey, because there's another message here for you guys. It's like you're still not connected fully to your higher self. You've got the empathy, you've got all of that down, and understanding people and being able to pick up why it's almost like you already know what the problem is before they even say it. You just kind of let people open up when they're ready, and that's a really good thing. I really respect people that are like that, because I'm like that myself, and it's not always nice to sometimes it's needed when you need to say what's wrong, like come on, say it. Sometimes that's needed, but you're more so the person that just knows the right questions to ask in order for them to open up. So that's really good. Let us see. I also, this, you could have like I do feel like as well as a child you weren't always really I think this is something that you've learned recently, a lot of you, is that you need to sometimes help other people because you don't understand. You've never really had this issue. I feel like you were very psychic from a very young age, and you just don't understand how people can get into situations that are not good for them. You're very quick to understand straight away if this is right for me. It's almost like psychic, like you know if something's worth it before you even try to get involved in it. And that's why you're very, I really like this energy. I really like you, group number 3. But it's just like there's still more here, and we'll try and talk quickly about that at the end, maybe. Okay, so I did feel like this. I really do feel like in a past life you were a very I do feel like there's some other karma that's for you in this life, and it's not really to do with relationships. I feel like in the past, this is what I'm picking up, okay? And I don't know how I'm going to phrase this. I feel like in a past life you were someone who was a horrible partner. You were a really mean partner in a past life, and you were really not empathetic. I feel like you weren't empathetic in a past life, and now you are really really empathetic. But there's something more. Let me just pull another card. I'm getting like, what is it that you have to learn from this life? I know that this video isn't really about past lives, but it kind of is now for you guys. Whoa. Oh yeah, and there we have the Hierophant. So that's kind of, that's my indication of past life. Okay. Okay, we have 2 cards. I really do feel like what you really need in your life right now is to understand your anxiety is what I'm getting. I think your anxiety is the biggest your biggest issue in life, and it's your own karma that you have to deal with. And it's so, I feel like with you it's so much more intense. It's like you don't get a break. It's like there's always something creeping. It's like there's always something that's trying to like smother you and make you anxious. And it's not to do with relationships, it's not to do with other people, it's just your own thing. It's your own issue that you're dealing with. and it's like it's constantly creeping, because I feel like you're very much the person that everybody goes to for advice, okay? But now it's like, whatever you did in a past life to your partners, it's like you're getting your own karma now to deal with yourself. And it's not even like you feel like you need someone in your life, because you're really compassionate. Wow, this became very in-depth. Hope this is resonating with people. I can't help it, but I just have to go with what I'm channeling. So yeah, it's very strong. It's like you're now starting, obviously, to kind of realize that, because obviously you're here, and there's a reason you're here watching this video. But it's for me, your own conflict is what this is. I didn't think I would be getting so much into that, but this is what this pile is all about. It's, you need to fight your own inner conflict, like your anxiety. Your anxiety is the thing that, are you going to literally freeze and do nothing every time that you get anxious? Or are you going to fight with it? Are you going to fight this and get through it? And really, I feel like you're going to really struggle with for a little bit longer. I feel like it's not that much longer. I just feel like there's a little bit of on some more understanding here. I'm going to look into it. Let me see. I think as well, it's like people pissing you off. Hold on. I feel like a lot of people piss you off because you don't like, because I honestly don't feel like anything really triggers you to have an argument with people. You just don't see the need to argue with something over. Obviously, if it's not triggering you, you're not going to obviously want to argue or get into it. So, but at the same time, it's like you're looking at a lot of you. Whatever annoys you about people, it's like, why is that person letting their partner treat them like shit? Why is this person letting their self, it's like self-worth is something. You want people to have their own self-respect and to realize that they're more than what they have in their life, like the people they have. Because I really feel like you're someone who was like, would applaud people to do, to start their own business, to become a different version of themselves. That's what you really want for people, and you applaud that. But what you don't like is like infidelity and people who are abusing drugs, people who are abusing the great support system that they have around them. You're just very much, a lot of things annoy you, but nothing really triggers you to get angry and have confrontation with. You're very, just something about this pile, this group, it's very clear that they don't need that in their life. But what you do need is your own happiness. Your own happiness, you still haven't really found it yet, is what I'm picking up. You are very much good at giving happiness out to others, but you now need to come within and find what's strong here, because it like for me, it was like coming like that. So it's like you're all obviously always transferring happiness to others. And I feel like in the past as well, this might be to do with maybe your mother was always having to fix your father's issues and stuff like that, and you've always had partners, maybe that isn't to do with your past, but maybe now when you've had relationships, you were always the person that was with someone who was wounded, and they were always so down on themselves and so maybe depressed, and Wheel of Fortune reversed. So for me, your luck isn't always going to be like this. It's soon going to change. And sorry, I had to pause. It'll start to change when you stop having to make everything else be appealing around you in your environment, because there's so much things in your life that annoy you, but you feel like you don't, you know what I was saying before, it's like you don't feel like you need to bother with them. So what I would say is, there's more than one right way, okay? So like, obviously it's not good to try and have conflict with people, but it's not a bad idea to maybe just do something that you're not comfortable with and going up and having it. Like, why are you, if you see someone that's treating their partner like shit, why wouldn't you just go up and be like, listen, I don't like what you're doing, because blah 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 blah, and just being like that kind of a person. I don't know why I'm getting that, but that's something that needs to start to happen, because I don't know why, but I don't know why, and I don't know what that is, but some way that's going to help you, is starting conflict. Not conflict, but yeah, conflict. This is what this video is about. It's like standing up for what you believe in. Being passionate about that is going to release something. It's going to get rid of any past life karma. Because in the past, I'm getting it now. In the past, I don't feel like anyone ever did that with you. So if you were treating someone in a way that you shouldn't have treated them, no one really corrected you on it. You just went about like whatever. Because obviously, whatever timeline that was in, I feel like you were probably a masculine energy, and the feminine energy was very much like suppressed and not really like whatever treated. I don't want to go on all into that because that's a whole different topic, but like, no one ever told you that you were in the wrong and you didn't think there was anything wrong. So now it's like, it's your time to address people that are treating their partners like shit. That's the message I have. Whoa, I got there eventually. Okay. I don't think I have anything else to say for you. I just really enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please let me know, because I want to do more videos like this and less kind of like pick a cards. Obviously, I'll still do my normal pick a card readings, but I just want to change it up a bit. I'm so done with all of the love relationship, like they're coming. I want to work on people. I want to work on you, because I can't always understand why sometimes I'm doing these topics that I'm not passionate about, and I'm doing it because it's what everyone else is doing, and I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to do what everybody else is doing. I want to do what I want to do. And that's an inner conflict that I've had for such a long time, and I started to realize that it's something that needed to change. So please let me know if you like these kind of videos. And yes, I will catch you all in the future. Please leave a comment if you want me to do something else, or if you have an idea. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit like my tongue is tired now. Okay, I will see you all in the future. Goodbye.